Good morning. How are you today? I hope you woke up this morning full of energy, full of life, and full of appreciation. I did that this morning, and it was intentional because when I went to bed last night, I said, and I had a migraine, I said, I'm going to wake up feeling better. I drank a glass of water and a glass of wine. And I think that's what helped. That concoction, that little mix of water and a glass of wine, I think it made me feel better today. And so I woke up today full of energy, full of life, full of happiness as normal because, I'm just a happy person normally until someone throws me off. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. I need you to take this life lesson if you don't already know it, but I need you to really reinforce it into how you move about your day. I need you to protect your energy. I'm talking about the type of protection where you got a full grip on who you allow to enter your space, who you allow to speak to you, how much time you spend with them. Because I'm going to tell you something. People will snatch your positive energy and run with it. And you know what happens? You give so much of yourself and don't realize how much you're giving of yourself. You don't realize that person has been speaking to you for 5 whole minutes about all the I was about to curse, about all the things that's going on in their life and all their dread. And you're internalizing this and you're listening and you want to help. And normally you do help. Look at this sunlight. Oh, that's some pretty sunlight. But I'm off subject again. They're telling you about all the things that's happening in their life, all the complications they're dealing with, and you are listening and absorbing this information. I need you to do a full karate hacha to cut that out. You don't have time. You got things to do. Because let me tell you something. That 5 minutes you're spending with them, or 10 minutes or more, it depends on how much time you have. You are thinking about their problems. You're bringing them home. You're thinking about, did that truck just blow a horn at me? Hey! But anyway, you are bringing this home. You're allowing it to come into your home because you're worried about this person. And this had nothing to do with you, but you allowed them to speak to you for 5 whole minutes. And you had something to do for that whole 5 minutes, but you were being, kind. And sometimes your kindness is taken for granted because people know you're the go-to to come to with their problems. Because just like I said in previous videos, I'm a solution person. I like to help people, but I do, absorb their issues. And, I had to stop doing that. I had to do that ha-cha thing I just mentioned. Cut them off. Give them 2 minutes. Whatever you have to do, you need to reduce the amount of time you're giving people. Because one thing I can tell you that will happen, you will listen to them. You'll feel bad about what they're you'll feel bad about what they're going through. You will want to help them. You will find solutions for them. You will find resources for them because that's how helpful you are. In the meantime, you're going home saying, I have such a headache. You have such a sense of dread in you now. And you can't figure out what's going on. Why do you feel like something is about to happen this bad? And this didn't happen earlier in the day when you initially started your day. But now you're ending your day with such a sense of dread. You're trying to figure out, why do I feel like something bad is going to happen? It's because you allowed that person to come in your life and throw everything on you. And guess what? They threw it all on you and they're feeling better and they're going on with their day just feeling rejuvenated, feeling happy because they spoke to you and you absorbed that energy. So it's off them now. It's on you. So I need you today. Practice it. Do it. I mean, if you got someone in your office, I'm on my way to work, as you know, because most of my ideas are when I'm driving to work. Today I'm going to practice it. And I've been practicing that. I have been, when people come up to me and you could just see something is wrong with their face. That's your first opportunity to take action because they're about to lay something on you that's probably very heavy. And you better be a person to practice coming up with excuses or acting like you're too busy. If you're at your desk in your office, type like hell on their computer, act like you're so consumed about work, before they even open their mouth, start saying things like, oh my God, I got a deadline. I don't know how I'm gonna get this work done. Start saying something like that. I don't know how you're gonna find a way to get this person out of your face, but start practicing finding a way, so you don't get caught out there and stuck. Because the worst thing that can happen is You have work to do. And we actually do. You are a part of the Unnicheable crew. This is why you follow me. You have things to do. I hear people always saying, okay, I don't have time to go on social media. I don't have time to video, do any videos. You do have time. And that's why you have to do better time management. Let me tell you something. No one can tell me you don't have 10 minutes out of your life to practice videoing yourself. You can't video yourself in 10 minutes, saying whatever. You're practicing until you feel comfortable. And if you're already a pro, then you know what I'm talking about. You have to find a way to dedicate at least 10 minutes of your day to get your word out, to talk to people online. Because if this is what you want to do in your in your Unnicheable life, then you got to start practicing. And there's no way you can tell me you don't have 10 minutes. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I told you before, the bathroom is where I have my greatest ideas, right? Now, listen, we all stay in the bathroom for more than 10 minutes, thinking about our day, thinking about what you could have done better. We have all that time, right? This is your time to, start jotting down ideas, or go on your phone and go to your notes section, your notes app, and start speaking into your phone your ideas. This is planning. This is time management. I'm not saying, for the your first time being on a video on yourself, see how tongue-tied I get? I don't care. I'm human. And I'm not cropping anything. I'm not changing this video. I don't have time for that. My people, my Unnicheable people, accept me for who I am. I will not crop a video if I make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. And you need to know who I am and my personality. If I was up here acting perfect, trying to film a perfect video, that wouldn't be realistic. Am I right? It wouldn't be. But, that's one of the things that, that's one of the barriers people have. They always try to try to create videos that are perfect. They're afraid of being tongue-tied. They're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid their makeup don't look good. In my case, I'm afraid my forehead is shiny, but that's my problem. But, it doesn't matter. Just start. Just talk. People, just like you talk to your best girlfriend or your best guy friend, whatever. How you just talk and it just flows? Just get on the camera and start flowing. So, the days, lesson back to what I was going to say is, protect your peace. Hacha, everybody who come in with their dread, you don't got time for that. You got to start thinking about what you want to talk about. You got to start thinking about, what you have to say. You got things to do, and you can do it within 10 minutes. Because we waste a lot of time watching TV. We waste a lot of time on the phone with our friends. But you're trying to find a way to become monetized. You're trying to find a way to make extra money. Your friends can wait. That TV show can wait. Listen, you got 10 minutes to start videoing and trying to change your future. And if being on social media, showing your presence or being present is the way for you, then you got to make time. Forget everybody. Block your space. If you say I don't have a room in my house to video, or I don't have time to myself because I have children, or my husband is making so many demands on me, or you're making so many demands on yourself, then that's your fault. You have to really take ownership of how you're limiting your success. Now, let me just say this to you. If you're a mother, or a single mother, or a wife, we take on the responsibility of taking care of our families and all their needs and addressing all their school needs. We take on a heavy burden because that's just what we do. And I'm gonna say this to you: you have to find a way where you give yourself at least 15 to 30 minutes alone. In my case, it's not in my house, because my children, and let me tell you something, one is 20 and one is 17. They should be old enough, to know, leave me alone for 30 minutes. And I do say it, but it seems because I'm at work all day, we don't have time to be around each other. They want to spend time with me. So I try to give them that time, because it's important that, we find family time, we talk. I allow them, to express themselves or what's going on with their day. This is important time. So, I know my home is not the place for this to happen, for me to get time to myself until they're all asleep. Maybe, but that's too late for me because I'm too tired to be on camera. But I'll tell you that. I tell you what, I will find time at my lunchtime at work to start jotting down ideas of things I want to speak about, so I'll be prepared and I'll know what I have to say and don't forget what I have to say. I will probably park up in Walmart or the supermarket for like 15 minutes, just giving myself time to think and figure out what's next. You have to find a space. I don't care if you park in a park, wherever, find time for that. So I'm going to leave you guys with the idea of giving yourself space and time. You got 10 minutes. Find that 10 minutes in a day to start prepping, and then maybe find another 10 minutes to video. You can do this. It's possible. I'm doing it. Look what I'm doing. My time is in the car and in the bathroom. If that works for you, go to the bathroom. Take longer than you normally do. Or do it while you're driving to work or driving somewhere. You can find this time. I want to say have a great day, peace, and make sure you shine today. You take time for yourself because you have work to do. See you later.